All right, so we're making this table, and on this table it says card, but we're actually going to do a number, and then opposite of the number, and then opposite of the card or the number. All right, and we're going to look at the spinning wheel. All right, here we go. Here we go. Spinning the wheel. What do we get? Alright, so what is, write down 100 in your first column. Write down 100. What is the opposite of 100?
Negative 100.
Negative 100.
Okay.
What is the opposite of 100?
100.
100. Woo. Alright, so then we're going to hide that choice, and we're going to spin the wheel again. Negative 75. Write that down. What is the opposite of negative 75? 75. What's the opposite of negative 75?
Negative 75.
Negative 75. Spin the wheel. So write negative 9 in your first column. What is the opposite of negative 9?
9.
What is the opposite of negative 9?
Negative 9.
Negative 9. Okay, we're going to do one more. What is the opposite of 15?
Negative.
And what is the opposite of 15?
18.
All right. Okay. So that is basically lesson 5. Okay, we've got a few more questions to answer in our math journal. Okay. In your math journal, number or label A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. All right, it says, read each real world description. Write the integer that represents look what it says, opposite of the opposite. It says show your work, but there's really no work to show. So we're writing the opposite of the opposite. Okay, so the first one, A, a temperature rise of 15 degrees Fahrenheit. What is the opposite of the opposite? 15. B, a gain of 55 yards. What is the opposite of the opposite? 55. The opposite of the opposite. It says right, the opposite of the opposite.
10.
Okay? C, a loss of 10 pounds.
10.
No.
What?
What does loss mean?
Negative.
Negative 10. So what's the opposite of negative 10? Negative 10. D, a withdrawal of $2,000. Negative $2,000. Because it's the opposite of the opposite. And withdrawal means opposite. It means negative. Okay. Moving on. Okay, in your math journal, write A, B, C, D, E. Yep, A, B, C, D, E. We did not get to lesson 6, by the way. That makes me a little anxiety there. Okay. All right, we're to write the integer that represents the statement. Just write the integer, not the opposite, not the opposite of the opposite. Just the integer. A.
Christian Quinn, come to the office. Christian Quinn, come to the office.
The opposite of a gain of 6. What is the opposite of a gain of 6? So what we write? What integer? Negative 6. B, the opposite of a deposit of $10. What is the opposite of a deposit of $10? Negative 10. C, the opposite of zero. Zero. Zero doesn't have an opposite, remember? D, the opposite of 4. No. The opposite of the opposite is back to 4. E, the opposite of a loss of 5. Negative 5. Okay, y'all, we're going to have to work double time to get caught up tomorrow on lesson 6.